It's your girl. It's your girl. I'm here for you. Okay? Hi, my name's Karen Brittingham Edmond. I'm with the Relaunch Echo, New Jersey's oldest black-owned newspaper that was founded by my great-grandfather, William Elijah Robb. I'm also the great ancestor, my ancestor also another black abolitionist journalist by the name of Dr. Major, actually Major Dr. Martin Delaney. And I am just surrounded within my lineage of abolitionist writers and truth tellers, and for those who stand for righteousness. You dig what I'm saying? So my style of writing is going to reveal a lot of hard truths. And for people who are conditioned not to receive the truth because they've gone along with a pattern of lies that has abused and taken advantage of their people. When I write, I write about things that are measurable, historical, and factual. So it's not just writing about something that correlates, because every correlation doesn't always mean confirmation. But when you have the history, the facts, studies that confirm the same thing happening over and over again. You know, I had some people, they were complaining. They said, how can you put down all these references? Well, that's how we learn in college. You know, I had the wonderful opportunity to return to school, and upon going to Brookdale Community College, the community college of Monmouth County, right, or Monmouth, or they would say, um, it introduced me, whether it was my public relations undergraduate or my human services undergraduate or my psychology bachelor's, and also with College, in regards to being a certified clinical research manager. There are certain ways to study and to confirm real facts. And the methodology of news correspondence that we have been receiving over the last 40 years has been strongly influenced by what they call the Christian Coalition. That's the offshoot or the power behind the sanctuary movement, because certain evangelicals, I call them evil evangelicals because they're super racist, and their statements prove it. And their hate towards Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King proves it. Was that to not tell the whole truth. But here's the problem: when you don't tell the whole truth, then you're setting up a group of people who are not receiving any other information because perhaps they didn't go to college, or perhaps when they went to college, they had already decided that any essential information that came out that exposes systematic racism and Jim Crowism and abuses of the Constitution against black citizens. They had already decided not to intervene and advocate, and maybe that's because they weren't supposed to, or maybe they just don't care, because we went through these generations where the music was highly critical of black folks, always emphasizing it's about me, just me, and that's it. And it took the true conviction and like purpose statement or mission of our black ancestors, where they demanded everybody be free, everybody get reparations. What black people have gone through in North America was horrendous. That's why they don't teach you. And other countries know. Their schools teach them about all the horrible things that we've been through, right? But we're giving misinformation. And that's why people ran with the holiday concerning the black president in Mexico to make Mexicans look non-racist, when it was the same Mexican people who murdered this man, this black president, their second black president, as a result of him setting the slaves free. Nasty, right? Nasty, untrustworthy. But per the media, even Anderson Cooper, as they were describing, these coyotes and how they're, oh, look at them, they're helping the people. Yeah, they're helping the people coming to America completely illegally, while also those children that were with some of these folks ended up being sold into human trafficking, because the human smuggling ring is in connection with the drug cartels, where we just shared a report in the Relaunch Echo that shows how one of the main streams of income for these Mexican drug cartels is through human trafficking. You see, because you have to understand the history of Mexico. We have to understand who we're dealing with and how people were. Once the Confederates lost, they went to their allies and they were welcome. And to this day, Mexico has Confederate fucking balls. So they celebrate that whiteness. And they say, I love coming to America. Yeah, because they've been, thanks to states, sanctuary states, they've been given everything that black citizens are supposed to get. And on top of that, 40 years before, the Christian Coalition, which is a part of this sanctuary movement, which is really should call the false sanctuary movement, because there ain't no sanctuary in it. They're just stealing, because white folks told them to come over here in masses and steal and to gerrymander in black areas. Because if they were such refugees, why did they place them all in black districts? How did it happen, perchance, that sanctuary areas were deemed that were in black majority voting populations, right? Now it's Hispanic. It's illegally Hispanic, because the treason that was utilized by white racists, and remember, Christian Coalition, they're Confederates, okay? Well, who's Confederates? Let's go over that real fast. Confederates are child molesters, they're pedophiles, they're criminals, they enjoy murdering people. But if you get their asses alone, you could beat the hell out of them, and you see what cowards they are, okay? And they have no respect for black Jesus, right? So they preach an antichrist, white nationalist viewpoint of the Bible, confusing everyone, right? Because they're hiding their real hate towards Jesus. And Jesus told us, you know what? They hated me. They're going to hate you too. So we have to understand who we're dealing with, know who they are. If they repent, they had 140 years to repent. They have not repented. So we really have to go full force with protecting our people's children, because they're allies, right? People who believe in those caste systems, where white is up here and indigenous and Africans down here, this is what they really believe. This is something that's going on for 200 years. I've written about this. I've left the links in the reports. You can have it read to you. But we need to get highly suspicious about why black children are missing, why black children are ending up dead, and how is it that black young families can't get housing, and New Jersey's allowing the fools to continue to raise the rent when these people aren't even citizens, right? And yeah, they got the backing of the Jewish people in New Jersey, but they played a heavy hand in making sure that our voting block got replaced. The fucking state gave Kushner, $500,000 million grant? A $500,000 million grant? That could have paid reparations then and there. And they're repeatedly showing us that by writing these big billionaire and trillion-dollar checks to other countries, that they're purposely neglecting to pay black Americans the reparations that's owed. They'd rather give it to the fucking mafia. And no, the mafia is not your friend. Damn, hip-hop, Damn, why y'all do that with us? You glorify them in front of our children, and we should be very, very angry about this, right? Our young hip hop artists, and we know they live hard knocks and whatnot, but damn it, don't glorify the devil no more. Please don't glorify the devil no more. They're not our friends. They're part of the slavery, the new slavery, and they're prospering from it. Fuck the mafia. They ain't shit. They up under the Confederates. They're Hitler's kids. Alright? They're Mussolini and shit. They don't never like us. I don't care how light they got. So what? They light skinned. They look white now. Believe me, they had that Hitler caste system in their heads. Okay? So they can never, 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 never be trusted. And none of us should be buying any Spanish or Italian products are going up in their stores. No, this last 40 years, do you know how many children's lives have been taken, especially black children's lives have been taken because the fucked up state and the Italian mafia and the Spanish who went and crawled their way up into the good graces of racist white people who love them. Oh, they love them. How do you think they got all of our reparations? Not that we can't get our money back. We're going to get our money back and then some. I promise you. All right? Because Donald Trump is sitting up in that office and he's in connection with all the bullshit that we have experienced and have been deprived of and have been stolen from with his partnership with outside countries like Mexico, okay? And along with fucked up Italian mafia. These motherfuckers are evil. They should not be mentioned in any of our songs. Children, they are not our friends. Don't trust them. Just don't even talk to these motherfuckers anymore. We got a huge group of missing black American children as a result of these pedophiles. Pedophiles, yes they are. But they got fancy clothes, Grandma. They got fancy clothes, and they got this, and 50 Cent said this, and fuck 50 cents. 50 cents ain't got your back. They're selfish. They're as selfish as Oprah and Queen Latifah. You know the rule. You know that we've seen who came into our midst and insisted that other populations receive the protections, rights, and resources. And I have yet to meet a non-racist LGBTQ person. That's why I posted those stories. Because we got leadership and they must got paid, right? But our children aren't for sale. So when politicians and special interest groups started coming towards our leaders, right, and convincing them to throw our people in jail with a messed up 8th Amendment. The 8th Amendment says no extreme fines. So how are you going to take a fine from $50, right, for driving without a registration? Something petty. You're not selling drugs. You're not trying to kill nobody like they're purposely trying to kill us. When we talk about them, they'll try to kill. They're already killing our kids. We should fuck these motherfuckers up. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And what's wrong is that American politicians strategically made sure that for certain generations, black children did not have adult supervision, as well as the full history as they're going to school, so that when they graduate high school, they realize they're going to a hostile situation. These people are hostile. They plotted against us. They stole our money. They are not our friends. Don't you dare buy another slice of goddamn pizza until we get our reparations. They owe us, all these businesses. So our people pushed through the freedoms, right? Our people pushed it through the equal employment, right? They didn't. They just stood on the sideline ready to run in. I'm sure the Middle Eastern people did that. They were waiting on the sidelines. The way they showed up in the late 70s and 80s, just coming over here, owning shit, honey. Right? You saw that. I know I saw it and I witnessed this. That's why the Long Branch Pier is so jacked up. They have no right coming over and taking over an area just so that they can enforce racist Confederate laws. Okay? Because they ain't shit. Because they got a caste system belief that goes against our own people's advancement. That's why black families gotta wait 8 years to get a fucking Section 8 certificate, and they ain't gotta fight with the Epstein class who they allowed to own these properties, and then they have the right to reject us. But motherfuckers can come over here completely illegal, and they can own a home. Look at Red Bank. Red Bank's fucked up. Long Branch is fucked up. That's the proof. The proof in the pudding. They gave our tax dollars that was owed to our ancestors and us, and marked them as a protected class. When we were the protected class, because we had to deal with these crazy crackers that got kicked out of England by the numbers of 300,000, and our sovereign ancestors, yes, black American citizens, you're in North America, you are a mixture of both Africans who survived chattel slavery and native and indigenous sovereign nations. So Mexicans denounce their sovereignty, right? Mexicans are not us. Our ancestors, right, came from North America, and they fought against the white citizens, all right, that the colonists that was dropped off here, okay? And in time, because so many came over, they end up having more of a say in killing, you know, with their sicknesses and diseases. So I don't think it's odd to see COVID jump up. I don't think it's odd to see AIDS jump up. I don't think it's odd to see this new sickness jump up, because this is how these motherfuckers move. The devil comes at you the same way each time. But each time he comes at you, you should be able to knock his shit down quickly. And one way of knocking his shit down is by telling the truth, which a lot of black people are upset because their conditioned responses for white nationalism. And the white people, the racist white people, are went and promised them all this stuff, and the Hitler Jews, because after Hitler Jews, they don't even look like black Jesus. Look at what that man is doing over there to those other people of color. Other people of color in Gaza who don't like our black asses either, because they managed to send a gossip through media to undermine us, okay, and our rights, so that when they come over here, they feel, I am justified to have everything that's owed to the black people because I'm better than them. Or as a Haitian guy that was married to my sister once said, God likes us better than you. And so when you got crazy ass people saying that, but yet interfaith neighbors and the entire state is making sure they have home ownership, making sure they have business opportunities, making sure they have all this stuff, while hating on us just because we're the survivors of African chattel slavery and First Nation genocide, when we are, and the survivors are sovereign. Otherwise, they don't have a problem being indigenous. Okay, like the Mexicans and those with whom call themselves Spanish. You can look at them. You can see the indigenous and African in them. But no, sirree, we're Spanish. Because white is right. And I'm going to blonde my hair and put that shit on my face to make my skin whiter. And then I'm going to side with everything that white racists say. That's why we got stupid ass a Hispanic woman, I believe she's Mexican, Jewish people, Middle Eastern people over the cemetery board in New Jersey ain't got no damn business being there. They're the ones that's infiltrating and building and taking advantage of historical black graveyards. That's what I was fighting about. How dare you come and touch where our Lenny Lenape ancestors are buried, and our Civil War ancestors are buried, and so on and so on. Our Lenny Lenape ancestors said bury them here because they are our people. And we don't have a problem with black people. The only Indians got a problem, or Native Americans got a problem with us, are the white ones. Not all the white ones, because many of them got black grandmamas who were native. But my point is this. It's time to stop the bullshit. Okay? Everybody that sides with the Confederate is our enemy. The enemy of our people's children are our enemy. Ain't no way all these babies should be in foster care. That was set up so that the mafia and these Mexican cartels can sell these children with the help of fucked up state foster care system. They're all in it. Okay? But we can kick the devil's ass because we have authority in Jesus' name. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, we do. That's why I wrote the book, A Bad Dream. The Bad Dream Part 1 and 2. And American Prophecy. Because it shows you the authority that grandparents have over demonic forces. So as adults, and the Bible said you will have many mothers. As adults, we have the right as adult Christians to speak truth to the devil and cast him out. Expose him all this shit. Expose his shit. Throw his shit out outside. Be like, you are not welcome here. You're not running game on my people no more. You're not going to set my sons up to go to jail. You're not going to do this shit anymore. As a Christian, we have the right to cast the devil out. Well, I thought you said it wasn't flesh and blood. Yeah, but you can see spirit. The fruits of the spirit tell on Mexicans and Italian mafia and Confederates. They're all together. And the Hitler Jews, right? Right? It's true. You can see it. Stealing babies, raping babies. When grown nasty men and women lay on top of babies and rape them, they scream. And those devil worshiping motherfuckers enjoy hearing that child scream. Imagine your grandchild going through this filth. And for all the black people who still doing this dumb shit, acting out the behavior of their slave masters, shame on you, shame on you. I hope you die in your sleep, because it's time to goddamn stop. We are at war. See that? No justice, no peace. They've gone too far. I don't give a shit about Monsieur John Delaney Hall. After they managed to come over here and steal our shit, kill our people, come in with their gang propaganda, and got our kids because they ain't have no adult supervision. White racist Republicans made sure there weren't no after school programs. And black people allowed this shit to happen. Well, we'll do it for our church. What about our people's children? When did we become so isolated? When did we become so null and void that we cannot emphasize with the cries and screams as that child's missing? And by the way, such as in the report, a lot of these kidnapped children are human trafficked. They've been in and out of emergency rooms. What? Yeah. In a motherfucking emergency room, because you ain't got the black doctors and the nurses there, by the way. That's another thing. They've ensourced a group that believe in that caste system to ignore these children. These children are terrified. So when you're on the boardwalk, you're on the beach, you're walking down the street, you see a black child with a white family or a Middle Eastern family or a Spanish family, question that shit. If they moving anyway. Anyway, because they have teamed up. This has been a 40-year plan of the Christian Coalition and the evil evangelicals and special interest groups from Mexico. Mexico's been got paid. That's why they did this shit to us. Why are we even going to Mexico for vacation? We shouldn't do that shit. They hate us. And it's time for them to leave. Damn straight. Well, what about how bad? Listen, well, pack their asses up and drop their asses off in Mexico. And then make Mexico pay us black citizens the reparations they owe us, and in the meantime, kick the liar-in-chief, pedophile, sick motherfucker, Confederate ally, Nazi ally out of office. He has no right being there. And the black press ain't tell us nothing. Roland Martin, Dr. Carr, Karen Hunter. Dr. Carr, I watched that show for 6 years. All his was over there. Oh, Hispanic. Oh, Spanish people are this. Oh, there are people. Look how much they turned on us. They voted in Trump motherfucking twice. They the racist police officers on the police force because they got a problem being black, just like the Italian ones. They have no right. They have no authority. In New Jersey, they should be nobody. And that's what I noticed when I worked for prevention of child abuse and community partnerships per grant of the Asbury Park Community Collaborative. And I was able to walk up in there. And Filipino people, they have Filipino people over their stuff and their grants. And let's just stop telling the lie that black people tell us, that black business people tell us. Well, you see, they pool all their money together. I'm getting back to the part about the shit that they did and that I witnessed at while working at the Asbury Park Community Collaborative, a 501c3, which is a fucking joke, which is a fraud, right? So my thing, what they did, everybody who was of a minority group had their own representation. So when we say we need representation for our people, there should be a African American man or woman who don't hate themselves and don't side with the Confederates. But you know, people like me who's going to say, hell no, you're wrong, get out of my face, stop stealing from my people, and the child said there will be a check. Okay? So let's be clear. Our problem is that we don't have our own people over our grants. These MFers, right? These capitulating motherfuckers, these Confederate supporters, right? They get this huge grant money from their states, and then they sit down together and they divide it up. Well, we pay taxes too. Yeah, but we pay taxes much longer. We built the country. Why are other minorities always getting the large? Why are they over their funding? Why is Hispanic Affairs over their funding? Why they gotta be over our funding? They don't have our best interests at hand. We know because they voted in Trump twice. We know because they prefer white over black, even though they got far more African features than we do, right? We know that they have plotted against us with their work and housing. They partnered with the Hitler Jews, right? And bone spurs. I love AJ. Her name is AJ something, and she's a black journalist, and she is the bomb, okay? She is the bomb. And I believe J.S. candidate, and she calls President Trump bone spurs. You know, because we're supposed to be afraid. See, they're coming at us like mafiosos, right? We're supposed to be afraid of the racists. Oh, we're supposed to be afraid. And then they're going to get the little brainwashed gang members whose parents have been robbed and raped and brutally attacked by racism. And they don't understand what the hell is going on. They're just listening to the hip-hop music that glorifies the fucking mafia, which are stealing their children, which are depriving them of their business loans, which have ruined New Jersey. And they need to take that punky-ass Jersey Shore show off because it does not represent us as a population. It just reveals how much they've managed to steal. Okay? It's time for us to get our money back. And it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Because you know what? There's still good people in law enforcement. There's still judges that are like, fuck this shit. Karen Edmund Brittingham is speaking the truth. Okay? And that this is true, and it's time for us to deal with it instead of being pacified by white evangelical speaking points and vacation Bible study. We need freedom schools. We, as black citizens, with all the money we have, every program that our children shouldn't want for nothing. These devils don't want to give us our shit. Well, where's Shaq? Where's Jill Scott? Jay-Z lives in New Jersey. Where's Chris Rock? Right? Where's LeBron James? We need active summer camps as well as after school programs that feed and nurture and are culturally sensitive to our people. The black church is desperate because we got tricked. They got tricked when they started putting everybody in jail, putting up these big fines, not knowing that it was the Mexican formula that caused the for schizophrenic behavior that we witnessed in our peoples during the 80s and 90s and 2000, and then we're going to cry to the jump out boys, also Confederates. Confederates don't belong up north. Once again, Confederates believe in pedophilia. Confederates believe in stealing children. Confederates believe in the Spanish caste system. Confederates believe in murdering people. And Mr. Bird's, the man that was dragged, they finally killed that cracker that murdered him, right? I tend not to be for the death penalty, but at this point, these mugs, we got stupid ass, the man, boy, love in this. Why are they here? They're pedophiles. They're taking advantage of children. The first ones that we're supposed to protect is children. No, y'all motherfuckers are saying, oh, the first one we protect are Confederate allies. But Confederates are pedophiles. Confederates are unlawful. Confederates hate people. Confederates hate black Jesus just because he's black. Confederates can't be trusted. Our ancestors beat the hell out of Confederates and their Mexican allies and drove them all the way down to Florida. But we're supposed to trust them and put them as protected. That's what Bonesburgs is doing. Sat up there and say you're going to give them reparations. Okay? Which then make Obama look bad. Because they say, you mean Obama could have been in there and pushed through reparations. Now, with those Dixie crackers around him, he probably wanted to. Remember? I remember Obama had a lot of good stuff he's getting to put down. Him and Michelle. Michelle's a Princeton University undergraduate. This chick is fire. She could have turned this world upside down, but now, Oprah and the Hitler Jews and the Hispanics wanted them to concentrate on racist LGBTQ. And fuck you if you don't know if they racist. If you don't know they racist, that's too damn bad. I've met plenty of them. I wrote a story on one, and he had a goddamn nerve to write me years later talk about, oh, you gotta take my name down from your article. I got, the kind of protections that the NAACP and Urban League and all of them and illegal supposed to do for black citizens. They did it for him. And said he was protected status because he's gay. So you can try to set up a black woman who's a principal, been on her job for years, and because I have somebody come to me with the complaint and write the article that ends up getting your funky, nasty, more than likely hateful, shouldn't probably be around children in the first goddamn place, fired as a board, as a superintendent of the board, and you want me to capitulate and bow down for you? I told him I'll take down the article once you pay me $20,000, bitch. And then they run to the black people who capitulate to them. It's their turn. I remember when a white social worker told me that. When I started working at prevention at Asbury Park Community Collaborative, and our covering agent was Child Care Resources, another very racist organization. We need to be over our own black children, y'all. Okay? They proudly boast about that shit. Our shit's so fucked up because we got Jewish and Hispanic and capitulating black people who are over our stuff, and we need a whole change in leadership. You want to believe that evil evangelical shit? You want to believe Trump going to give us money? That devil's a liar. He's going to be dead and gone soon. Dead and gone. He just came to do his role that the devil appointed him to. You can tell by the fruit: lying, stealing, a pedophile, starting unnecessary wars. Muhammad Ali was right. Our soldiers should not be exposed to the bullshit of white racist men who are mentally ill and Confederate. They can never, 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 never be trusted. And the Saudi allies and the Middle Eastern people who they'll come over here complaining as if we're supposed to run and fight their wars. What? Muhammad Ali was right. Okay? And I don't care if white racist people want to run and pull your hair, bitch. Pull your hair out. Fuck you. I don't like you anyway. Now, to talk about one of my joys, Nurse Nancy Nance. Oh, that's my child. She's my child. She's mean and she's ironing, and she won't take no for injustice. She's not down with injustice. She's exposing a lot of shit. Okay, and we have to deal just like Oprah had made Obama and Michelle have to deal with doing preferential treatment to the LGBTQ and the Hispanics who hate us, by the way. Yeah. We've always had gay people in America. They came over, they got kicked out of London with the rest of them. Okay? Unfortunately, because of their ancestors' colonial behavior and becoming slave owners and stuff, they raped just as many black men and children just as so-called straight white men who are colonists rape black women and children. It's no joke. It's no joke. How dare they set themselves up, a group that's 70 to 75% white, male, help put the freak into office. Who is Donald Trump's right-hand man, that devil worshiper with the bald head? Look like a character from Sassy the Sasquatch and shit, right? So yeah, they're not our friends. But Nurse Nancy Nance is a advocate for the community at whole. Because we have black leadership, but they're so hooked on white evangelicals and white speaking narratives and looking at their people like, oh, well, it's their fault. It's our fault because they're patting them on back and getting paid. They can't be trusted. They have been compromised. You need to go back to Quinn Chapel. You need to go back to the AME church, like, immediately. And I'm going to say this. No, I'm not going to say this. I'm going to write an article about it, and y'all better read it, too. But the thing is about people like Nurse Nancy Nance, she's the realest one out here. She's telling the truth. She's really is homeless. No black citizen should be homeless. But as a effect over the over-encampment of zealous, covetous Hispanics who wanted to replace black citizens so that the liar-in-chief and pedophile can be in office so that they can get certain favors and be able, well, we got their jobs now. Covetous. As covetous as the Middle Eastern people, okay? They think that's just okay. It's not okay. It's not okay in the sight of God, and it's not okay in the sight of man. And we as a people have to speak and step to them and let them know, you ain't getting away with this shit no more. Not on our watch. Why? Because we love our children, and the enemy of our children are the enemy of our children is our enemy. And we have to be clear about that. Okay? But my wife's parents, nobody's talking about your wife. We're not talking about people who are not racist. We're not talking about Spanish people who are not Confederate. We're not talking about Spanish people who don't got a problem being black and having black ancestors. We're talking about the special interest group and the ones that came over here in encampments. Refugee my ass. This is a strategy. This is a political treasonous strategy, and Bone Spurs elections, being that they plotted and planned against American citizens, which is black citizens. We're real citizens. We're real human beings. And these monkey dog motherfuckers come over here believing all the lies, and we deserve your stuff. No, you don't. You're stealing. They stealing. Every time you go into a business, you don't see no black citizens working there. You don't see no American citizens working there. But the people who was insourced to replace us, right? And we didn't know because media always, every time you turned on the TV, they made them look like, oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so perfect. Oh, Lord, where would we be without them? Because that's what white racist people wanted. You gotta remember, Monmouth County was the last county in the North and in New Jersey that did not want to stop slavery. They were, as my grandfather's distant cousin John Rock would say, they are Confederate allies. New Jersey leadership can never be trusted. And yeah, they're going to be drawn. They're going to want to support anything that's Hitler, whether it's Italian. So that's why we have no representation. I'd like to get the job, right? I do good because I would just be like straight across the board. No, y'all motherfuckers know this is gonna be even God Stevens. Okay? It's not gonna be all this funny. They on the inside, getting all the funny for the last 40 years, getting all the housing, getting all the business. Look around your neighborhood. We're the black businesses. We should have as many black businesses as there are Chinese restaurants. We should have as many black businesses as there are Italian restaurants. We should have as many black businesses as there are white businesses. That means making it equal. But these individuals played a game on us, and they said, "Well, they're minorities. They're colored. Oh, they're colored sometimes, not all the time. Not once they get what they want, all of a sudden they white." And we have the statistics to prove it that many Hispanics and Asian people mark themselves as white. They don't mark themselves down as Chinese. They mark themselves as white. I wrote about that too. I'm glad I did it. Somebody needs to set the record straight. Roland, Native Land Pod, all these black journalists, they need to get up off their high horse and start telling the truth instead of following the Democratic Party's speaking point. Because the Democratic Party's part Dixiecrat, and that means they can never, never, never be trusted. And yes, I voted for Kamala Harris because Kamala don't have a problem being black and being a lawyer, but at the same time, her people, her Middle Eastern people, have done us dirty. That's why black mothers are dying. See, white people knew what they was doing in the 70s, the 80s. So they brought in, sourced all these people in, were their minorities, made sure, paid for their college education. Black college students black citizens, we had to pay 3 times the college costs of America just because the enforcement of civil rights. That's treason. You're not supposed to plot against fellow citizens. And that's exactly what they did after they repeatedly broke the law and did inhumane shit to our people. Repeatedly. They cannot be trusted. All we need now is our money and to put shit in order so that our children's lives are saved, so that black children's lives are protected and invested in. And we need to stop the bullshit, because that's the more white racist talking points. Put them out at 18. My mom put me out at 18. Yeah, your life ended up really fucked up, didn't it? So why you want that shit to happen to your kids? Snap out of it. The devil's a liar. Hating on your own people, hating on your own children. It's time, like I said, the enemy of black children, black American children, are our enemy. And it's time to fight back wholeheartedly. No justice, no peace. I don't give a damn about Delaney Hall. After they fucked up our vote so that Bone Spurs can be elected twice, after they came in and pushed our original people, the direct descendants of Africans and sovereign nation of New Jersey, to make them move, to make room for them, because they're supposed to be, because they're Confederate allies and they hate us. So our state, and believe me, this is the Republicans too, they're bipartisan on these kind of things because they hate us. And we're going to hate them right back. And we're going to get our money too. And we're going to fight. Watch your kids. If you're on the boardwalk, you see a black child with Hispanic people, Middle Eastern people, or Hispanic, Middle Eastern, or white, and that child seems out of place. You know, because they beat up children. That's what the mafia does. They beat up children and shit like that to make them submissive to the rapes and the bullshit. That's what the Mexican cartels and the mafia does. They are the enemy of our people. We will no longer support them. We will no longer look at them through rose-colored eyeglasses, thinking that they down with us because stupid-ass hip-hop artists, many who don't even have one college degree, little less an undergraduate degree, want to make as if they're supposed to be all about them. And I'm telling you, it's not about them. It's about our children. And so the echo's going to continue to tell hard truths, just like Frederick Douglass did, just like Major Martin Delaney did, and just like my great-grandfather, William Elijah Rock, did. That's why we have in concern of the Negro, because we don't have a problem being black. I didn't call you the N-word. I just said another word that meant black. Our Native American ancestors on this East Coast were black. So what? You got a problem with being black? That's on you. In order to be brown, you got to have black in you. Look at you. Look at you. We got to protect our people, folks. It's all about the children. White people and Hispanics have protected their children. They stole all of our shit, honey. Didn't say sorry. Didn't say, by the way, here. Didn't go to the state and say, listen, y'all better pay black citizens their $500,000 reparation check with a home, with health care, with paid college. We are owed that because they stole from us using what our ancestors fought for, and that's illegal, it's unethical, it's not of God, but that's who we're dealing with, and that's who they are, and they have not repented. They run up after white people all the more, and shame on our black leadership, but they can't pick this shit up and look at what's happened to our people and our children. They go to school here, but they gotta get pushed out. Why? Because white racist Jewish people want to, I'm sorry, not white racist Jewish people, Hitler's Jews, right? Let me give you an example. Hitler's Jews. Michael, you know, the one that made the fund for the new American economy. It's the way they were. The devil will lie to your face and try to steal your shit until you examine the way he said it. Why we need a new American economy? What y'all up to? Why Jared Kushner get the money that was supposed to build the affordable income housing? I worked at the Long Branch Housing Authority. You're not supposed to do credit checks. How are people supposed to get up on the ground? Why they did the credit checks was so that they could strategically block black citizens from accessing, especially young black citizens with families, right? And don't want them around to raise their kids. Okay, another thing. Racists don't like to see us happy. Racists don't want to see your children smiling. Racists don't want to see your children, Confederates and their Confederate allies don't want to see your child be healthy. Racist Confederates and their in-source allies do not want to see you own a home and property. Racist Confederates and their allies do not want to see us have businesses. And our political black leaders have been compromised because they've been told all these talking points and uplift these. Oh, look how much, oh, look what's happening. Because they sold all those drugs to kill all these American citizens. And now the drug lords are in control. We got to bring their people over here. No, that's Mexico. Mexico got a fucking army. Just like we have the right to say, listen, I think the mafia and Mexican cartels and Confederates have just done too much. We need the army to intervene on behalf of citizens, remove Bone Spurs and his demonic administration who glorify themselves in whiteness, because we are a civilization and we don't glorify and seeing children sold and seeing people murdered and seeing our troops put on the front lines so that these motherfuckers can kill them. Come over here complaining about this shit. That's a fucking setup. I'm for real. We as Americans should be pissed off. This shit was unnecessary. So be ready to fight. Because these crackers and their allies are going to start acting out. They're going to start showing up. Like I said, keep an eye out for the kids. You see a child on the boardwalk, especially here in Kingsburg or anywhere, or you see that black child, you report that shit. If you got any type of suspicion, you take down that driver's license. I don't feel comfortable with all this Epstein class human trafficking going on. I need you to do a well visit here, because that black child looks stressed. And it doesn't matter if New Jersey foster care system or adoption placed them there. They the same motherfuckers that gave Amy that Confederate bitch on the judge, hoping to make sure our voting blocks our voting rights are blocked and all that shit. That Confederate bitch, they gave her 2 black children. We don't know what the fuck's happening to them. But we know she's a demonic bitch. She's a white nationalist preaching hoe. So it's time to stop. It's time to stop being stupid. It's time to go back to church. Okay? And let people know. Let the church know. I don't care if you're with AME, AMEZ, or with the Baptist, Seacoast Baptist. That was the weakest motherfucking link. I'm even thinking about Reverend Perkins. Maybe that car accident wasn't an accident. Yeah, I said it. And I have the wherewithal to investigate it too. We're going to continue to have prayer for the Foster family and the Hump family with the little boy that got hit by the train. I don't like it. Thank you, USA. Thank God for the black press for sharing that story too. Because we need our stories told. News reporters aren't allowed to tell our stories. Or they tell us half-ass stories. You know, like it's Santo Domingo Day. Oh, he stopped slavery in Mexico. Yeah, Mexicans rose up and killed them. This is who we're dealing with, children. When the Confederates went to war, it was Mexicans troops that ran up over there. My cousin was like, we should be like Mexicans. The hell we won't. The hell we won't. Those motherfuckers plotted against our indigenous. They were the first ones fighting on the side of the Spaniards. Against our indigenous people. And our African ancestors. Have you lost your mind? They're not the original people here. That's Chickasaw. That's Cherokee. That's Lenni Lenape. Okay? The list goes on and on. Ask your grandparents. Oh yeah, they killed your grandparents with the crap. So now there's a whole lot of kids. They have a missing link. So we, as the adults, have to tell them the truth. And yeah, Miss Karen gets rejected. That's because people don't want to know the truth. But it's the truth that sets you free, baby. Anybody come at you wrong, you beat the hell out of them. That's what my mother and father said. They try to put their hands on you, you fuck up. You fuck them up. Oh, serial killer motherfuckers. Let loose in the streets of New Jersey to manipulate our shit and steal from us. Got our kids talking about, oh, and this and that. That's some Hitler brainwashing tactics, y'all. It's time for a snap out of it. God knows it. The demons in hell know it. Now you know it. They're not our friends. We're not going to support them no more. Die, motherfuckers. Die, the motherfuckers die. Those little babies missing from their home, kidnapped, sold to profit Mexican cartels and the fucking Italian mafia. Punk-ass police officers won't do shit about it. Punk-ass emergency room won't do shit about it. It's time to stop the bullshit. And yes, I've already let Cherokee Chief Hopkins know. The Native Americans, the sovereign natives, that's who we're descended from. I let them know everything. I let them know everything. Because they got the other side of the story we have yet to hear. Yeah, they got some racist, fucked up ones in the mix. You know, crackers are going to send in their descendants. What can I say? But many of them know who they are, and they don't have a problem with being black. They don't have a problem with being the direct descendants of indigenous people. Okay? And I let them know everything. So that when the Mexicans and the white Jewish people come running up in their face trying to make a deal, they'll be like, well, Sister Evan of the East Coast Echo said, surprise, y'all about to get your asses kicked. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Y'all plotted against us, stole from us as citizens for the last 40 years. And this is the thanks we get. You voted in Bone Spurs twice. The pedophile, liar, and chief. And I expect some brothers to fuck some shit up. I really do. Be a man. Fuck. They hate us. So what? I married 2 individuals that hated me, and I recognized it. When you recognize that that person hates you, that you have been been put, as if they would say black and brown, right? You put right next, but this brown individual, all right, black, brown, they have been adulterous, they have been lying, they have been stealing, they have been siding with cracker, white crackers all the time behind closed doors and politically plotted against us, stole the resources from us to appease white racist nationalists. Now the real brothers and sisters are going to come out and they're going to say, yup, that's exactly what they do, whether they're Spanish or not. They're going to be, yup, that's exactly, and I don't have a problem being black. I have a problem with my ancestors being black. My indigenous ancestors, my African ancestors went through hell. And it's a miracle that I'm standing here today. How dare you tell me to deny their ethnicity within me? How dare you? The record's getting ready to be set straight, and y'all better be nice to every child. I mean every child. But it's the black children that our very state plotted against. It's the black children's future. You know, because you're going to bring in all these people. What are you going to do with the millions of people that's going to be here? Oh, we got to get rid of them. Oh, that's a, we'll put them, we'll steal from them. Every nonprofit, all over they got white leadership. Pushing what agenda? The Hispanic agenda, the LGBTQ agenda. What's that got to do with black children? When we going to be man and woman enough to speak up for black children and get our representation in place instead of plotting against our children? My own family members hated me. I didn't even know why until I picked up some writings by Major Martin Delaney and W.E.B. Du Bois once I went to college. And W.E.B. Du Bois was mentored by Brother Hood of Atlantic Highlands, Bishop Hood of Atlantic Highlands, not the one in Mississippi. Okay? It was a strong black presence, strong black male presence that would not capitulate or bow down to the races of Confederates and their allies. And they were strong, and they stood strong, and they prospered. We got to take that stance again. You know why they prospered? Because they're looking out for the future of their people's children. We have totally forsaken our children for the last 40 years by substituting the needs and wants of Confederate allies and races. Because Oprah fucking said so. Fuck Oprah. She fucked us up. That was a plant, y'all. That was a plant. Always giving white people brand new refrigerators and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? What? You know, first she came out very pro-black, but then over the years, she's doing the will of her masters. I'm not gonna. I don't like white masters. I don't like black masters. We free. And he whom the Son has set free is free indeed.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Oh, sweat. My Bluetooth device is connected successfully. So much love to everybody out there doing just wonderful things. Or it's just about their father's business, okay? Waking up to the truth is like waking up and finding out that the man that you've been with have been cheating on you for the entire 16 years, stealing from you and everything. But you know what? You'll heal from that. You'll feel better. Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will. Because God is great. And we're going to have to get all these demonic monkeys up off our back who's like stealing from us. And we have to speak truth to injustice. And then strategize to get our money back. Don't listen to black people who claim we don't have a right to reparations. That's another lie. That's because they're on the side of the Confederate allies. Don't listen to these monkey dogs no more. They're in my family, and I'm just like... So this week we have broken trust and broken arms, the alarming case of daycare negligence at Little People at Work. And we were able to get a lot of views on that because we have to address what really happened. We have to be in the defense of our children and understand that it was these nonprofits, these white female-led nonprofits and special interest groups who stole that Head Start money to be funneled to them while still charging the American citizen with per their daycares, which are not culturally sensitive because they don't have no black people on the board. There's not no black representation owning most of these daycare centers. We got to speak out, and we're going to keep the foster family in prayer. The Unholy Alliance, how mafia cartels, networks, and sanctuary politics betrayed America's children, because by them positioning themselves with the Christian Coalition and the sanctuary movement, that was premeditated. They premeditated was planning. The Mexican cartels and the Italian mafia was already premeditated in stealing our children, and we have every right to be angry about that, right? The other thing is, of course, Mr. James Jerome, Lesson 46. He is a black Catholic. He is tried and true. He doesn't have a problem being black, and he has a lot of a background that would be so supportive to us, and that's why I support black writers. You know, you want to write something? I know it's hard, but you're chicken. Okay, you've been trained to lie and to support people who will despitefully destroy the future of your children. You're just so afraid of them, right? And the hip-hop community's on their side. Look at Snoop Dogg. I knew there was something wrong with that brother. I always knew. It's like, you know, as black women are very spiritual. We discern quickly. And we had to have that type of a spirit evolution, because we were always left in dangerous ass situations. And when God said, listen, pick up, move, we had to move. God said, stand, fight, beat the hell out of everybody. You stand, fight, beat the hell out of everybody. Okay? So I knew with Snoop Dogg, they hated us too much. Nobody said the N-word that much. Damn. We had the Tea is Hot with Kay Britt on Terry Hawk Jr. and New Jersey's rising dangers for children, pedestrians, and cyclists. And that really started with the Tut boy and the other young man. You know, I'm still not comfortable about that, but we have to tell the truth. And I just thank God for Brother Tut and his family. God bless them. Keep them in prayer, because it's not easy to have a child taken away from you as a result of some finagly shit. Okay? The other one that we also wrote about that broke my heart. I tell you, if it wasn't for church people letting me know about this, I really didn't know, because there's so much going on. But Justice for Terry Hawk Jr., a community's demand for truth amid a pattern of statewide injustice. You know, what pissed me off was how all these on social media, these folks were just talking and blaming Terry for what happened to him. And people weren't even talking about it. We should have been pissed off about that shit. We're still pissed off about that. And we want justice. We want our children protected. The enemy of black American children are our enemy. Okay? We want to see this country, this state get better. Protect the black children. Make sure they have more than enough. They went and managed to bring all these illegal Mexicans in with their families and kicked took up all the slots at YMCA, and YMCA was founded by black men like my great uncle in them, and Red Bank, great uncle, right? Because I think anyway, they my family, and I knew about the YMCA. We need black American representation, not some people from another country. Hell no, they hate us too. They're here to use us. We gotta understand why people come here. But the bargaining chip, where they get to advance, is by stealing from the futures of black children generationally and setting them up for failure. You know, we really need to have a connection to have these children. If you have a problem with your child, you've been trained not to love black children, we need an intervention church. We need to have it right there where they're ready to go to a HBCU that will embrace these children, raise them. Half the time they feel horrible because they're teachers that they've been exposed to for the last, what is it, about 14 years when you go to elementary, junior high school, you know, they're not here to help them. They go into that school to underteach our children. And babies pick it up, but because we're working 2, 3 jobs, the white man got the rent going up. We can't get approved for housing, but we can witness everybody else going. And with all these mind games going on, we can miss stuff. So we got to get to the point of not missing the facts and standing up for our children and being there for them. Okay? Wholeheartedly, 100%. No more of this. We got to take care of everybody. We are not slaves any longer. And look what happens when we take care of everybody. People who fought against our indigenous ancestors and our African ancestors in the Civil War get preferential treatment. We get the Hitler Jews to receive everything as a minority while being white. Okay? So it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. And don't be, you have nothing to be ashamed of. All right? Greater is he who's in you than he who's in the world. And I had a scripture I read today. I'm going to read it to you too. Psalm of David. Okay? And then I'll leave y'all. All right? Psalm of David. This is the NLT version. This is what the Lord put on my heart today. And if you take this stand for black children's futures and protection, this is what the Lord's going to do for you. And this is straight from the Word of God. Psalm 110, the Psalm of David. The Lord said to my Lord, sit in the place of honor at my right hand until I humble your enemies, making them a footstool under your feet. The Lord will extend your powerful kingdom from Jerusalem. You will rule over your enemies. When you go to war, your people will serve you willingly. You are arrayed in holy garments, and your strength will be renewed each day like the morning dew. The Lord has taken an oath and will not break his vow. You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. The Lord stands at your right hand to protect you. He will strike down many kings when his anger erupts. He will punish the nation and fill their lands with corpses. He will shatter heads over the whole earth, but he himself will refresh from brooks along the way. He will be victorious. And don't get it all twisted because it said Jerusalem. As Christians, we have been engrafted by the blood of Jesus, okay? We are his child, and we call him Abba Father, okay? And our ancestors knew that. God showed up. There are accounts when Almighty God and angels showed up during slavery. Y'all don't even see, they don't want to let you know you're powerful. You're powerful. You're powerful. You're powerful. The blood of Jesus, you're powerful. They don't want us getting mad and speaking the truth and rebuking the devil and casting him out of office. Because we can do it. And there's a whole lot of people that will be more than happy to join us too. Because this shit's foul. It's illegal. It's treasonous. And the child said there'll be a check. Love you. Stay strong. Stay wise. You are beautiful. And I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. But Jesus loves you best. Peace out, my friends. Peace out.